Welcome to Just Minding My Business Media. I'm happy that you joined us today, and I am so happy to welcome to the platform today Jeff Schreifels, who has over 32 years of experience in nonprofit fundraising. In his role as principal and owner of Veritus Group, he has worked extensively with nonprofit leaders and fundraisers to help them create transformational donor relationships. Welcome, Jeff.
Hi, Ida. Great to be on the show with you.
Great to be on with you as well. So let's define what this all means.
Okay. You want to know what major gift fundraising is?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Well, it's different by different organizations what a major gift is. So if
Okay.
you're a small organization, a major gift could be somebody who could give $250 or more in a year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and a larger organization could, like a university, could say a major gift is $50,000 or $100,000 or more is what they would call a major gift. But generally, organizations call a major gift anyone that gives probably 10,000 or more in a single year and above. And then donors who give between 1,000 and 10,000 is what you would call a mid-level donor. So this is kind of internal discuss you speak for or nonprofits.
Okay, yes, I've worked for a nonprofit for over 16 years,
Yeah,
and those fundraisers and donor things,
yeah,
I get it. I just wanted to make sure my audience got
yeah, yeah,
it.
yeah.
For sure. But anyway, what does Veritas Group do in terms of overseeing the data that
Okay.
comes in for nonprofits?
So we never start working with a client until we see their donor data. And typically what we ask for is we want to know any donor that's given $1,000 cumulative in any one of the last 4 to 5 years.
Mhm.
Because we want to understand how donors have been behaving over time that could potentially qualify as a major gift donor or mid-level donor. And that data set helps us understand donor attrition or donor retention. How many donors are you keeping every year? And donor value attrition, meaning a donor might give, let's say, 10,000 one year, and the next year they give 5,000. That means we lost $5,000 in value year over year, or 50% of their value. We want to be able to track that and show that to the organization. And then we're able to look for areas of opportunity for growth. And then we put together a 5 year forecast that if you had a really good, robust mid and major gift program, here's where you could be in the next 5 years. But we could only do that by first looking at the data.
And so, what nonprofits do you work with?
Gosh, we work with small organizations like local food banks and food pantries, rescue missions, but we also work with large international organizations like Doctors Without Borders, um, Greenpeace. We've worked with large and small. We work with organizations like St. Jude Children's Hospital.
Mhm.
So those are some we've worked with organizations who might be like 5 million in total revenue and organizations that are 2 billion in total revenue.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you are definitely out there in terms of
Yeah,
the different
yeah,
levels of nonprofits that you work with. And
that's right.
right now, with the climate that's happening in our country today, we cannot not talk about that.
Yeah.
What is going on with the nonprofit sector?
Well, obviously they're scared a bit. They've lost a lot of nonprofits have lost funding because a lot of them were dependent or had government funding
Mm-hmm.
that helped do what they did. And so many nonprofits are starting to rethink where our other revenue streams can come from to help us keep us going. And where we're finding is many of them are finally deciding that we need to go out to individual donors and start building relationships with them so that we can start that revenue stream. And so for us at Veritus, we've had a record sales year of new clients that have come on
Mhm.
because many of them realize we've got to start building a donor base and start asking donors for gifts because we can't rely on other sources that we used to rely on.
Yes, yes. And I think even though it's a negative climate right now, but at the same time, you can find some positivities out of this mess.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll tell you a story. So we work with a lot of public media clients,
Hmm.
NPR and PBS stations. And all their funding went away,
Yes.
right? It was a huge impact. And depending on the station, each station has been impacted in some way.
Hmm.
Um, and so they're realizing we really need to go out to our individual donors more than we ever have before. And we're seeing donors respond to that. So all of our clients in public media, the major gift side has grown by double digits year over year
Wow.
because, people are stepping up to the plate. They
Yes.
love NPR, they love their PBS station, they
Yes.
want to see it continue, and they know that with that government funding away, they're going to have to make up the difference.
And it might be a good thing because you know that old saying, God bless the child that has his own.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. I hear you. Yeah,
It is much more truer than ever now.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So when a nonprofit, like say, comes to you,
Yes.
I know you talked about, looking at their data.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of strategies in order for them to gain more donors, how does your company address that issue?
Well, what we usually find is that major or nonprofits feel like they don't have enough major donors.
Hmm.
But in reality, they do. They have major donors in their donor file. They just haven't cultivated them correctly. So
Mm.
what we do first with that data is identify potential major donors or current major donors, and then we help them develop a plan to qualify those donors, meaning say your major gift threshold is 5,000 and above, and we
Mhm.
find a bunch of donors that have given that, we wouldn't say yet, we wouldn't put them in a major gift portfolio for a major gift officer until we've had contact with them in some way that they show us, the donor, that they really want a relationship with the organization, with that major gift officer. Yes, I want you to come and talk to me, or I want to find out information and I want to know what's going on in your organization in a deeper manner. Once they're qualified, then we put them in a portfolio. We tier those donors based on the best donors to the lowest level donors, no more than 150 qualified donors. We put a revenue goal towards every donor and a strategic plan so that the major gift officer knows exactly what they're doing every day with that portfolio. And what we find is that they do have plenty of donors and major donors. They just have never cultivated them correctly.
Mm.
And so we're not so much about going out and finding new donors
Mhm.
for major gifts because that really should be done on a lower level scale, like, your direct response, meaning the mail or email or those ways of developing that list of donors, that initial. But when you move them up through, and that's why we love to have mid-level as a program, because that's where you're introducing those donors that are giving just below that major gift level for the first time, somebody to talk to from that organization. And that changes the relationship. And we see these mid-level donors start giving major gifts because they're finally been reached out to by an individual.
Yes, nothing like talking to folk.
That's what it's all about. It's about building relationships with
Mhm.
donors. The whole goal for a major gift officer is to figure out what are the passions and interests of the donor Why do they have those passions and interests as it relates to everything that nonprofit does with their projects and program, and
Mm-hmm.
then matching those up. And when you do that well, that's when donors give. Because fundraising really isn't about money at all. It's about building relationships so that you can understand what the donor really wants to do with their resources. And when you do that well, when you gain the donor's trust and you present them with inspiring offers, they're more apt to give. The money follows. So the
Yes,
better the relationship, then the money follows.
absolutely. And you support nonprofits and that strategy.
That's right. We help, right now, we're consulting with over 60 nonprofits around the world
Mm,
on just that. We're working directly with their frontline fundraisers every day to help them be successful.
yes. And
Yeah,
that's what they need now because unfortunately, they got spoiled, so to speak. And now they
many of them.
really
Yeah,
have to work for it,
yeah, yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
So if nonprofits want to connect with you, how do they do so?
They usually come to our website at veritusgroup.com, or they attend a free webinar, or they've read one of our free white papers. What we decided very early on at the creation of Veritas was that we were going to give away everything we knew. So my business partner and I at the time started a blog and said, "This is how you're supposed to do this. Have it for free." And we did white papers. We have over 25 white papers. We do podcasts. We do free webinars, all to give really good information out to people. And some of them will come back to us and say, "Hey, we love this, but we need your help to do that." And so that's how that's worked over the years.
Yes, yes. And most of the time, people do need the help. The information sounds great until you try it.
We have had people take all of our blog posts. In fact, they've written us and they've taken pictures of a big binder that they've taken all of our blog posts and they said, we've read all your blog posts. We've been able to create our own mid and major gift program and it's succeeding. We never paid you a dime for that, but we just wanted you to know how successful we've been with all the advice you've given. And we love that. We
Yes,
love it.
yes. Because at the end of the day, it's all about helping people to succeed. And
That's right.
nonprofits are definitely needed because they help people most of the time that are disadvantaged.
Yeah, that's right.
So they are a very important piece of our society.
That's right. They're trying to make the world a better place.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about your podcast.
Okay.
Yes, and
I
that
have a podcast it's called Real Talk with Real Fundraisers, for real fundraisers. And what I do is kind of what you're doing. I interview really cool people who have a lot of knowledge about fundraising, and we just have conversations.
mm-hmm,
And before this podcast, I had a podcast with my former business partner for many years called Nothing But Major Gifts.
mm-hmm,
And we kind of did something similar. It was a little bit more scripted, but it was all about helping teach or learn about major gifts.
mm-hmm.
And so we had a number of guests on that were experts in different aspects of major gifts. So we have all of those still out there, um, for people to listen to. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me ask you, when do you normally broadcast on this podcast?
We usually publish every couple of weeks or so a new podcast.
Okay.
Yeah. And we put it out on, we have over the years, because we built this blog, we have over 45,000 people who have subscribed to something of ours. And
Oh,
so,
okay.
we have about 10,000 subscribers to the podcast and blog. And, um, we get it out that way, social media and LinkedIn and different ways so they can find it that way.
Okay. Okay. So you also co-authored 2 fundraising books. Let's
That's
talk
right.
a little bit about that.
Yeah. Very early on in 2014, we did our first book called It's Not Just About the Money. And that really helped solidify in the market that we were the experts on major gifts. You know, when you write a book about something, people are like, oh, you must know something about
You're
this.
right.
And it was great because conferences started calling us saying, hey, would you be a speaker because you've written this book? And so we really started to take off because people started reading this book and reading our blog posts. And we no longer had to try to find business. Business came to us because we gave out that free content, right? So that was our first book. And then 2020, we did a follow-up to that. It's not just about the donor, which was focused towards executives and managers that they're crucial to helping major gifts work in a nonprofit. And so it was a kind of a guide for leaders and managers in how to lead major gift teams.
Sometimes they get so focused on the money
That's
aspect
correct.
of it that they
Absolutely.
forget all about this is a relationship you're building.
That's right. You know, it's like, oh, we'll hire a major gift officer and all our problems will be solved. No, you've got a lot of work to do besides just hiring someone. You know, you got to support that person. You have to have the infrastructure within your organization to report back on the impact of those donors' gifts. You have
Yes.
to be able to thank them properly. All those things have to be considered because we know that donors stop giving to organizations when they don't know if their gift made an impact or not. That's the number one reasons donors leave.
Yes.
And
Very
so if you don't
important.
have that figured out, I don't care how great of a major gift officer you have, you're not going to continue to retain those donors.
Yes. People want to see where the money is going.
Yeah,
Show me the proof.
they want to know, am
Yeah.
I making an impact or not?
Yes. Now let me ask you, a lot of times in the donor world, it's usually older people that are more.
And major donors, yes, for majority of major donors are I would say 55 and above. And most of them are 65 and above because
Yes.
they have disposable income, right?
Yes. Now, how do we keep it moving with the younger people? What a
Hmm.
because I think, with them, it's a tougher game for
It's
the
a long game. So,
yes.
you know, you usually bring in a donor. Donors start being more charitable when they hit their 30s. And then when they hit their 40s, you know,
Hmm.
but they're giving smaller gifts. And that's okay. But you have to cultivate them well too, you know,
Yeah.
through your fundraising programs. And as you develop that relationship with them over time, they'll start giving larger gifts. And that's when you really should start introducing them one to one with people. You know,
Hmm.
really start reaching out to them as individuals rather than just mass communications.
Yes. Yes. And
So,
because I think that's just so, so important. It all businesses
yeah.
is communication. And what's your thoughts on the AI in communicating?
Uh, I think, you know, we're kind of in the beginning stages of it for a lot of organizations using it, but I think that AI can be helpful in kind of crafting drafts of either fundraising letters or call scripts or how should I talk to my donor? And a lot of that depends on how good your prompts are for
Mm,
AI.
yes.
But you know, I think it can be helpful. I do think you have to heavily edit those and make them personal. But
Yes.
I think if you're stuck as a writer, they can be helpful to give you some prompts. Um, but AI in the future is going to be very helpful um, by looking at a database and being able to help you craft, okay, what donors should be in my portfolio?
Hmm.
What donors, how can helping AI can help you create a strategic plan. So there's ways to make the job that takes a lot of time. Building a strategic plan, building revenue goals, all of those things take time. And AI could do that a lot quicker. You still have to check all of that, of course, but
Yes.
it would really help the fundraiser in many ways do a lot of that planning and much quicker.
Yes.
Yeah.
And does your company use uh AI?
We don't use it. We consult with organizations that they should look at other companies that do provide that or
Mm-hmm.
within their database. We're all about the one-to-one stuff.
Yeah.
We're about coaching individuals.
Yes.
Um, but we are pro AI because anything that can help the major gift officer have more time to spend in front of donors,
Mm-hmm.
we're all for it, you
Yes.
know?
Yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Because I think, in terms of planning, like you said, planning scripts,
Yeah.
focusing down on, people, just being strategic, it can definitely help
Yes.
you as an individual move forward a lot quicker
Yes. Yes.
with a plan,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely.
So you did some I saw in your bio that you work with Feeding America.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that organization.
Yeah. They're an amazing organization who has had some great leadership over the years from a number of different CEOs that all have been very forward thinking
Mm-hmm.
in how to build that organization. Um, in another life before Veritas, I worked with them on their direct response program. And at the time, in 2001, they had only 50,000 donors. Now, this is a national organization, and they
Mm-hmm.
brought in about $9 million in total revenue. Today, they have they have 500,000 donors and over $500,000 in total revenue. Or 500 million, I'm sorry.
Wow.
So it's just taken off. But it was because 24 years ago, their leadership said, we need to invest in bringing in more donors and
Mm-hmm.
letting them know what is happening here. And so they did that investment and they've just taken off.
Yes, because I remember seeing the shows they used to have on television,
Yeah.
showing what when they doing their campaign, showing where
Yep.
the money
Yep.
goes. This is what you did. This is what we do. This is how we
Yep.
serve with
Yeah.
your dollars.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that's to me the most important thing.
Yep.
Show people how you spending the money.
Yeah.
That's-
Absolutely.
And a lot of organizations do it that way. I mean, St. Jude's, they normally have their fundraiser, and it's like, they're showing the hospitals, they're showing the
They're showing the need. Yep.
yes,
People
yeah,
want to give to solve a problem.
yes,
Donors want to solve problems. So you show them the problem, and then once they've given, you show them how they made an impact with those gifts to
yes,
alleviate the problem.
yes, exactly. And it makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just like going to the store and buying something,
exactly.
you receive something.
That's right. You've got it. You nailed it.
Yes, indeed. So again, how can nonprofits connect with you?
Go to our website at veritusgroup.com, and there's all kinds of connections that you can make there. And what we love to do is start out with a free donor assessment. So that data thing that I told you about,
Hmm.
we do that for free. And the reason we do that for free is because we know for a fact that it'll be the first time that a nonprofit sees their data in the way that we're going to show them. It'll
Mm,
be enlightening. But then the other reason is that, of course, it allows us to get in front of them and say, here's what your donors are doing. Here's areas of opportunity. Here's where you could be in the next 5 years. And here's how Veritas could help you do that,
mm,
you know?
yeah,
So,
yes, indeed. Wow, Jeff, this has been enlightening. And, Nonprofits actually need you right now, especially now.
Well, this is why we're seeing so many come on board this year, is because they realize we've really got to figure out this thing with individual donors.
Hmm.
Either they've been relying on corporate gifts or direct response. They really have to now start looking at their donors as people and
Yeah,
start reaching out to them and talking with them and understanding what are donors' passions and interests so that we know
yes,
how to bring offers to them that are going to inspire them.
absolutely, absolutely. And I'm looking forward to following you. So
Yeah.
one more time, how do nonprofits connect with you?
Go to veritusgroup.com and you'll see all kinds of ways to connect with us there.
Okay. Okay. Now, are you on LinkedIn?
Oh, yeah. We're on LinkedIn
Okay.
everywhere.
All
Yeah.
right. So I'll definitely connect with you there because I do know some nonprofits. I've worked for a nonprofit for like 16 years.
Wow.
And I kind of know when those campaigns come through,
Yeah.
they're doing the mailers, they do the house
Yeah.
stuff, the
Yeah.
events,
Yeah.
but it's like they might need help with another
Connecting.
perspective.
Yes. Yes. Well, that'd be great.
Okay, and
Yeah.
thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to
Y-
share.
Yeah.
And it was definitely eye-opening, to say the least. And
Well,
audience, thank you as well for tuning in. We appreciate you also.